Hi everyone, it's Asia here. New project, new experiment, a newly released Squirts from Lindy's, so stay tuned! So following my earliest project, I am doing today an experiment with Lindy's Squirts and Yupo paper and alcohol. This is a rubbing alcohol of 90 degrees and the Yupo paper. I'm not sure if this is the Yupo paper, which is actually quite heavy. It's 200 grams, but that's the one I have, and that's the one I'm gonna use for this project. I sprayed the Yupo paper with alcohol, which I put in the sprayer bottle, and now I'm applying the squirts. You know, the squirts are, well, maybe you don't know because they are very new and very great. They are actually different to sprays because they are less liquid, and so they have this cap which you can turn on to get the squirts flowing, and that's what I've done. I just dropped them onto the paper, and now I am using a hairdryer. The reason for me using a hairdryer, not a heat gun, is that I used the heat gun at some occasion with the Yupo paper, actually one occasion, and I actually burned the Yupo paper because the heat gun is quite strong and it burns the Yupo paper. It not actually burns it, but it warps it so badly that well, you can just throw it to the bin at the end, which happened in one case. So I learned from my mistakes. I'm using the hair dryer, and also I've watched several tutorials on how to use alcohol inks on Yupo paper, and a lot of people are actually using, a lot of artists are using a hair dryer because like that the inks flow effortlessly on the paper, and they give this kind of I don't know, shadowy, flowy, super nice effect. This is not exactly the case of squirts, because squirts are not done actually to be used with alcohol, but they work very well. It's just it takes a lot of time. So what I'm doing now, I have a small pipette and also a brush which I'm dipping in the alcohol, and I'm trying to move the inks on the paper. They are not flowing very effortlessly. You actually have to kind of pull them either with alcohol and pipette or with a brush to just kind of spread them on the paper, and it takes a long time to dry them because first of all I am not using the heat gun, so the hair dryer is not as strong, and because also I think of the fact that they are so heavy bodied, and I sped up the video quite a lot to not bore you with that part of the process. And I'm still adding, now I add another fourth color of squirts. I'm still adding it using all the time the pipette or using the sprayer with the alcohol. I need to clarify one thing, so not to scare you, by saying that it took me a long time to dry the squirts. I meant simply that the whole process of adding the squirts, adding alcohol and drying it took me around 30 minutes, maybe less, which I think is actually quite normal. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add some, with a brush, some adhesive for a transfer foil, and I'm adding it onto the lines which are the most visible. And that's what I love also about using Lindy's sprays, or in this case squirts, on the alcohol, with alcohol on Yupo paper. They are giving me this pulse of colors, beautiful lines between the colors. It's incredible, and I actually cannot do it on the normal paper without alcohol. So that's what I'm gonna try to do now, to add some transfer foil. I have a transfer foil in this very shiny blue color, which should work very well, and which worked very well at the end. And I did it twice. I put one layer, and then when I realized that it's not enough, I want a little bit more, I add another layer of glue. I let it dry. No, I actually did not let it dry. I used a hair dryer because I'm very impatient, so I just just quickly went over the paper with a hair dryer. You don't need to dry too much. And now I'm adding again the foil, and look at the effect. And the shine is there. The shine from Squirts, I don't know if you can see also, it's there. You'll see it probably more on the end pictures. And look at that, this is my very first trial with a Yupo paper and Lindy Squirts. And I'm gonna be doing a project with this paper very soon. So now I'm gonna add some stamping with archival ink and Caramel Studio stamp guirlands avec le rond. And you'll get a full list of products in the description box below and also on Lindy's blog. So just pop up in there. You can also have the links there for all these magical products from Lindy's I'm using in this video. And after adding the stamping, I decided to make the borders black and little distressed, so they are not completely straight. And for that I'm using a Starburst Midnight Rendezvous Raven, and applying it with a brush. And I decided for once to just step out from the project and let it dry in the air, basically without using any heat gun. And after coming back, I did some stamping. I stamped 2.5 flowers on the piece of paper, and I'm gonna be using ultra thick embossing powder to emboss them. I was thinking at the beginning to use Lindy's clear embossing powder, but with ultra thick embossing powder you're gonna see there is a difference to that. It's not the same as embossing powder, it's something completely different. And well, as the name says, the powder is very thick. It's quite hard to work with it, and you see me here, the powder is kind of flying away. You have to make it very warm and then add layers upon layers of powder. I actually use my fingers to do that, and it's quite a time-consuming task, but it's very nice. And it bended the flower also, it bent the petals of the flowers, so you'll see it at the end. The flowers look a little bended and to me more realistic thanks to that. And I also darkened the edges with the archival ink. So now I'm building my composition. I'm also adding some die-cutted leaves, and once happy with it, I'm gluing everything with a tacky glue. And I have to admit, this is a first composition like that for me. I've done it for the very first time. I wanted actually at the beginning to do ATC cards with the paper, but I decided to do ATC cards with the other paper I showed you before. I'm so sorry for the background noise. My computer decided to cool down at this moment, so I cannot do anything about that. And as a sentiment, I'm using word sticker from Tim Holtz. And I'm gonna also add a few black drops with Nouveau black drop thingy. So that dries quite quickly also. And well, I don't have to do it, but I love these small touches. And on top of that, since I had a Caramel Studio stamp there in the background with the drops, I decided to add some more, because why not? To the naked eye, it adds a lot of interest also. And because I noticed that the paper from my die cuts was quite dull in comparison to the shiny flowers, I used some glossy accents. And this is the finished project. And be sure to check new squirts from Lindy's. They are really unbelievable and they have such amazing colors. And try maybe using them with alcohol and Yupo paper. And that's it for today. I hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.